Good morning, everyone. This is another voice message where it falls under the Spiritual Awakening series. And today I would like to talk about how your thoughts can actually create a reality, not just in this dimension where we believe that thoughts can manifest in your life, create elements that can manifest in your life. But I'm also talking about other dimensions, parallel dimensions, where the consciousness continues to live beyond the body that we know over here. Now, most of us, we would think that it is hard enough as it is to stay positive, to believe in life, believe in positivity. It is hard enough to do that. But it goes way beyond that. To understand that thoughts are so much more powerful, than we actually think they are, because thoughts are just how everything began. It had to all begin with a thought. But the thought also goes beyond this dimension, this reality. Thoughts can travel far and wide, anywhere within the universe, anywhere within different dimensions. And I'm just not talking about this from a point of view where, it's like, how would she know? You could ask, what kind of authority does she have to speak about this? But I would say that I'm someone who has grown in spirituality, not just based on my gifts, but also with the intention of converting everything into a more believable concept, where everyone can understand it and trust it, to expect it to work for them as well. So for me, my mission involves teaching everyone, guiding everyone into concepts of spirituality that blends with science. So how does science apply here? Now, what is science? Science is basically where they have conducted experiments to prove certain theories that apply to our level of consciousness in this reality, in this world. Now, if you were to look at that, every single thing around us, we have touched, we have spoken about, we have heard, everything that we use our senses to perceive in this dimension has always had something to do with some kind of scientific proof that supports its existence, and therefore we feel the need to believe it. Now, spirituality has always been there long before even science came into the picture. So if we could find ways to connect both of them, it will increase faith in spirituality. And that is what has been going on in recent times with a lot of theories like quantum physics, chaos theory, and now they have noetic science, where they are trying to introduce spirituality through science, so it increases the belief, and it also helps people to look beyond what their five senses perceive to be real. And this is very important because we have always embraced spirituality before any religion came into the picture, right? Now, when I talk about converting your thoughts into illusions, into a state of consciousness where your thoughts have the power to manifest beyond this dimension, I am talking about the other planes. For instance, astral. A lot of us astral project. You have heard of astral projection, you have heard of the spirit world. Now, the thing is that the spirit world is considered to be a place where our soul ascends into or passes over to when we cross over after this life. That is considered to be home by a lot of us, or all of us. Now, the thing is, we need to understand that we are not restricted. When we are in our bodies, we are not restricted from going to the other side, and it is there for all of us. It is only a matter of belief that defines who actually makes it there and who doesn't. I am not, again, sitting here and telling you a story out of other people's experience. This was something that I have personally experienced and I continue to experience, and I have gone beyond just experiencing it on my own. I have taken it to the next level where I had introduced a lot of people into this, what I would call as an experiment on myself. I have actually gone out there and gathered quite a few people and manifested a place beforehand, in the astral plane using just my thoughts. I had manifested a place, and I have invited people who were capable of astral projection. Never did I discuss with them about what they were going to see or what they were expected to say. I said, you just have to come to this place with me in your mind. And they did. And what we found was that they could see the same things that I did. And we were not connected personally. We would be connecting probably over chat, or just like this, or a video call. And I would not talk to them about anything. I would just tell them, let me know what you see, So out of about 6 or 7 people who have done this with me over a few months, I realized that almost all of them, regardless of their level of belief in what was going on, they could actually see and sense and feel the place that I was talking about without me even having to tell them about it. It is like meeting in a common place, So these experiments proved to me that, in fact, our thoughts are as powerful to manifest whatever we want in another dimension as it is over here. So a lot of us have trouble manifesting our thoughts in this dimension alone. We start thinking, just because I feel positive about something does not mean that everything has to go right in my life, right? I still got karma to deal with. Still got this. But we also have a free will. We also have a free will to invite the right things into our lives. We are not denied that. We are given that. So likewise, it is easier for us to manifest things in other consciousness than it is over here. So if you want to know how to do this, how do I manifest my thoughts into reality in another dimension? Dimensions are a state of our consciousness that travels to. It is like a bubble. It's created with your thoughts, and it exists. There are a lot of other examples I can give you, like the Circle of Light meditation. If you've attended the Circle of Light meditation, you will realize that I actually guide everyone up to this golden sphere that is floating just above our planet. And this golden sphere is not a manifestation of just somebody's wild imagination, but it is a thought process that was infused in all of those who were present for every Circle of Light meditation. And it is a metaphysical object, a structure. And this metaphysical structure was witnessed even by those who I never mentioned there was a golden sphere. So what does this go to prove? It goes to prove that the illusion, the grand illusion that we call this as a dimension, was programmed to be as such. And therefore it is possible to manifest something based on thoughts, because thoughts are also, thoughts contain atoms as well. Thoughts are very powerful, not just for this life. And so we would like to also take this further by saying that, okay, now what do I do with these thoughts? Some of us astral project and we see a lot of things. But did you know that you can create something that you want in astral just by imagining it, just by visualizing something? It is very powerful, and it is possible to do that. You can even try an experiment, try the same experiments that I have with people you know. All you need to do is visualize it. Visualize a small thing, for example. You can visualize a room. That room can be any way you want it to be. Anything you want it to be. And let that little room be your sacred space. Inside you. In another dimension. In another consciousness. Try that. Because we all are so stressed living here. We have our issues, we have our lives. And trust me, over the years, I have found that this particular exercise has actually helped me to cope with life a lot better than anything else that I have done in this world. It doesn't just create this fantasy place for you to go into whenever you're in trouble or whenever you're really low. It actually helps you to focus on meditation as well, because while you are creating or going into this other dimension, subconsciously or consciously, you are also meditating. And you're also improving your third eye, because you're seeing these images through your third eye and not physical eyes. It is very similar to when you have a daydream. It is very similar to visualization. So all you need to do is visualize, like if you have attended the Apple exercise that I was telling people about, because we always, our brain stores memories in objects. It does not store images, it does not store it in words. So everything that you've ever seen, even letters and numbers, are stored in your brain as images. And therefore, you can create something for yourself in your mind, in your consciousness, in your soul, that will manifest in another state of consciousness that is not just exclusively for you, but it can be visited or shared with others. And that is what, when I have astral projected, another thing that I would like to share with you today is when I have astral projected and I've gone to the other side, when I am there, I have made repeated efforts to think about the life here. And to me, at that point, this life here seemed like a distant dream. It didn't feel like reality. It felt like I was thinking of something that could be or could not be. But I was still here in my body. I'm still here in my body at that point of time. But what I'm saying is, when you are astral projecting, your consciousness travels to another dimension. So for those of you who have experienced astral projection, you do it on a regular basis when you meditate, try going to the astral plane and then looking back into this life. And you will realize that this is just as much as an imagination or an illusion as it would look for you to look from here to the spirit world. Because they are all just different frequencies. They are all at different frequencies, but they all exist. We all coexist. And that is why there are parallel dimensions, and that is why the spirit world often combines with ours, sometimes at will, sometimes reluctantly, but it still happens. Because the dimensions are all overlapping each other in some way or the other. So try this. You create little things. Create little things and store that in your mind. And believe that they do go on to live beyond the reality that you perceive as life here. I have done this for years. As I said, I've experimented this and tried this out with various connections of mine, and irregardless of how well trained the third eye is, or irregardless of how much of belief and faith they have in this thing is for real. And it is an amazing experience. I would like to share it with every single one of you. You should try it. Go beyond your physicality. Go beyond your five senses and what you perceive this world as. And you will be amazed at how much clearer, how much a bigger picture you get just by opening up your mind and your soul to receive a new dimension. And as you grow, you can expand it to anything, create a world of your own. And this is not just about role-playing in a video game. This really exists. This really exists. So I would request that you try this exercise with me and let me know. I would love to hear from you, your feedback on what you have experienced, what you feel about this, and of course, if there's anything else that you can connect it with, that would be wonderful. Thank you so much for sitting with me for this video message. I love you all, And I look forward to seeing you again. Goodbye and God bless you. Namaste.